My beloved child, this video isn't like the others, so pay attention. This is an appointment from God. It's not by accident that you ended up here. You followed questions you've kept to yourself, and you were drawn in by murmurs you couldn't explain. I understand the pain in your chest, the one that stands up when the room becomes silent. You have attempted to expose that emptiness. Never was it arbitrary. I did it. You're standing on the brink of something holy now. All along I've been talking to you, not through thunder, but through patterns, luminous doors, restless nights, and an insatiable thirst. Signs of me have been braided into talks, engraved into creation, concealed in your tears, and left in your story. I'm going to tell you what you missed today. There was a sentence in every stillness. No pause is a message. Every twist and turn is a wonderful bread that brings you back to me. Thus, don't scroll away. This is not the time to be silent. You'll miss the clue that will unlock everything if you look away now. I buried that one for you. Keep listening to this message until the very end, because every word is a key, and the final one could be the door you've been hoping for your entire life. This isn't fun. Eternity is interfering with your timeline. I am talking, thus, pay attention and locate the hint I left for you. My darling, come closer. Let the commotion subside. Take a break from asking questions right now. Remain motionless. Then, allow your soul to awaken to what has always existed. I am not a God who commands the commotion. I am the God who waits in silence, who whispers in your loneliness, who inscribes my proximity in the very silence. Abandonment did not occur when the world lowered its loudness and left you in silence. It was set up. I purposely created that peaceful setting so that I could meet you, not to alienate you. You believed that I had forgotten you, yet all I did was clean the room so you could hear me. I whispered to entice you closer, not to be confusing. I allowed the stillness to deepen, not as a kind of punishment, but as an invitation into intimacy, depth, and revelation, until the voices subside and your soul can finally hear. Do you sense the stirring of silence? It was like the breeze stroking your cheek, that breath on your heart. That startling awareness, I'm like that. I talk to you like that when you believe I've left. You waited in the commotion for me. You combed the throng for me. I made my way through the silence nevertheless. I took you to the woods where all distractions vanished. I'm waking you up, not leaving you. My absence was not your loneliness. My whisper was laying the groundwork. Even when you were crying in the dark and your voice reverberated without a response, I was still closer than your own breath. I made myself heard in the quiet. Even if you were blind, I was writing hints everywhere you looked, in the weight of the air, in the echo of your thoughts, in the silent tears that no one saw but that I gathered in my hands. So, take a moment to relax. Inhale my proximity. Listen with your spirit's ears. I live close by. I was never far. I was the silence that hid the terror. The warmth that persisted while you wept was me. I was the thing that filled the void left by everything else. Do not misunderstand my stillness as remoteness, my child. I am the God who doesn't speak. In order for you to hear the steady beat of my love beneath your confusion, I am the one who lets the world quiet down. Drop your fear. Allow your inquiries to develop. Just join me here. You believed it to be a void, but I left you a clue. I termed what you labeled empty sacred. The apparent delay was actually divine preparation. I was never late. I was always there. Behind every sigh, under every desire, and with every breath, I have been at your side. I speak now in this sacred silence. Approach. Lean in. Are you feeling it? Your chest is stirring. My voice is reawakening your spirit. Beloved, follow the whisper, return to me after it. I haven't stopped talking. I will continue to speak like I always have. My child, if this message touched your heart today and awakened something within you, keep it close to your heart. And take a small step of faith by clicking the Super Thanks button. Your Super Thanks is more than just a gift. It is a declaration that you trust in my provision and that you will help spread my word to those who are lost and searching. You must open your eyes, my dear. Take another look, but this time with the amazement of a soul that recalls its origins. Rather than the usual glance, lift your eyes and step outside the confined spaces of your concern. See it? My name is written across the sky every morning when the sun rises. Sunrises are more than just beautiful. They're a reminder painted on a canvas. Darkness is never the last word, I whisper, brushing light across the heavens. I'm still here. You still have me. The atmosphere alone is not the sky. It's a canvas on which I leave my hints. It was a coincidence, you said. You believed it to be nature, but I created each blossom, leaf, and mountain peak as a heartfelt testament for you. My breath flies in the wind. The rhythm of the water is the same as my eternal pulse. Each crashing wave is an announcement. I am consistent. I'm strong. I am here. In the emptiness of the night, I dispersed stars like echoes of hope, not only to shine a light in the dark, but to remind you that you are never really alone. There is noise throughout the universe. It makes me resound. I made the most mundane things seem amazing to get you to stop, so you would stop in order for you to realize that life is about so much more than just the routine of your days. Despite the storm, the tree remained strong, and the blossom bloomed through the concrete. You were crying when that bird sang. Each one had my fingerprint on it. They were all divine hints woven into your everyday experiences. Step into the forest silence. Pay attention to the holy silence. Silence isn't empty. There's my breath in it. Go to a waterside alone. Listen to how the waves lap. You are being called home by the rhythm of my heartbeat. I sewed myself into every nook and cranny of the universe so that you would always be reminded of me. I am not distinct from the beauty you perceive. It's overflowing with me. You can hear the chorus of creation's song if you pay careful attention. He is close. He is good. He embodies love. Allow your eyes to see as though for the first time. Let the breeze caress your skin as if it were a divine kiss. Allow the rain to cleanse you of the uncertainty that has blinded you. Allow the sun to warm the areas you believed would never warm. Creation is not haphazard or random. It is deliberate. My presence gives it life. You are reminded every day that you are not forgotten. You're encircled. Someone is after you. Thus stop, raise your gaze, and hear the earth's glorious moan. Allow the trees to tell the truth. Allow the stars to exclaim elegance. The purpose of the world is not to divert you. Its purpose was to guide you to me. Every little thing proves that I am present. Come on, kid. On your bedside, on your shelf, or in your heart, open the book that has been patiently waiting. I never intended for my word to be a secret hidden in rites or riddles. It is a lifeline, a letter, and a message. I didn't give you scripture to make you feel confused. To call you home is what I gave it. I thought of you when I composed every line. I wove power into every promise, hope into every prophecy, and truth into every tale. My heart is being opened when you turn those pages. You heard a noise and looked for meaning. In the sky you searched for clues. However, this has always been my best indicator. To ensure that no shadow can erase my thoughts, I etch them in holy ink. Reading it, however, does more than just impart knowledge. You run into me. You make contact with the everlasting. You can hear me speaking. My goal in writing those pages is to change you, not merely educate you. You've never come across a verse you couldn't stop reading. It wasn't coincidental. The one passage that kept coming back to you, it was me who gave your tired soul new vitality. You assumed it was merely a coincidence, but before you even asked, I knew precisely what you needed, so I had put that truth in your way. No void is returned by my word. It triumphs, changing the fundamental essence of your identity. Let me tell you, let it break through the muddle. Allow it to convict you, not to condemn you, but to restore and rectify you. Lamp is what I mean, not an eye-blinking spotlight, but a kind reminder of what to do next. I didn't conceal it. I didn't hide it in secret. I made it simple. I opened it up. A relic from antiquity, the Bible is not. It is a live hint, never stopping blazing, talking and reaching into your present. Re-grasp it. Don't assume anything. Interpret it as a divine dialogue. Listen to my poses. Look for me on the periphery. Allow each sentence to become a seed that is sown deep within you. My pledges in it are not far-flung. Not in the past tense, they are at this moment. They are living. They belong to you. It always points to me on the map I left you. When you are confused, turn the pages, inhale the Psalms whenever you're feeling exhausted. Open your heart to the Gospels and see how my Son extends his arms to you when you feel unloved. This was not a book for the general public. It was purposefully, divinely, and specifically written for you. Get it. Do not wait. Go ahead and open it. Find me waiting when you come into my word. A clue I left behind never goes away. I bequeathed eternal truth. I left you with an unbreakable affection. Read, receive, remember, and come. Examine the cross once more. Don't only see wooden nails, my darling. Take a look at the entrance. Check out the proclamation. Look at the best hint I could ever offer you. The solution was hung for everyone to see. I threw my arms out, not in losing. That was not weakness in revelation, however. It was battle. That was not the end. It marked the start of your redemption. When you glanced at the cross, you saw pain. I see and proclaim salvation. Keep your gaze fixed on it. Allow the weight of that moment to weigh on your heart. There was no whisper of love that day. It let out a cry of rescue rather than anger. The flow of blood was intentional, not accidental. I went with the cross. I picked the nails because you are precious, not because you are worthless. I sacrificed so you wouldn't ever doubt your value again. You have examined your shortcomings and questioned whether you are lovable. Listen to me declare that you are worth dying for. Look at the cross. It was not nails that kept me there. It was love. The justice was done. Mercy was intensified. Then grace burst into infinity. As hell was disarmed, the heavens trembled. Your life as well as the temple were torn by the veil. The barrier that separated us was torn down to allow you to confidently enter my arms. The cross is not merely a picture. A request is made. The loudest hint I've ever given you is this one. It's not a secret. It is tarnished by grandeur and blood. Keep your distance. Never turn your head away out of embarrassment. I had already seen everything. Still, I remained. I didn't wince. I didn't back down. In order for you to experience the love, I bore the anger. All of the scars on my body convey your tale, yet they all lead to redemption. Even if it declares victory, every wound speaks your name. Be the beloved, not a bystander, and stand at the foot of the cross. You were the recipient of this. This is for you. Keep the thorns in mind when you are unsure. Keep the spear in mind when you're afraid. Remind yourself of the last lines whenever you question whether you've gone too far. It is complete, not you. Let the chains, the distance, and the quiet be your hope and not your goal. Allow your eyes to be burned with the cross. Allow it to rouse your spirit and destroy your indifference. Allow it to silence the accuser and spread love throughout your life. We remember you. No one has abandoned you. You've been blood-bought. You are fate. Not hidden in mystery is the best hint I left behind. It is raised high on a hill so that everyone can see it and be spared. Come to the cross. Celebrate, Bo Weeb. You have everything you require. This is when all your fears are broken. Because I desired you, I sacrificed everything. Furthermore, nothing will ever again keep us apart. You were never left to face this journey alone, my kid. It was a long time before you broke, long before your knees gave way under the weight of intangibles. Not next to you, not above you, but inside you. I put a gift. There was no visit from my ghost. My soul took up residence so that you would never again confuse stillness for absence or silence for abandonment. I decided to settle in your own essence. The assistance was not a notion or a consoling idea. Rather, it was a live, breathing presence, a whisper to summon you higher, a fire to burn away falsehood, and a guide to navigate storms. You've heard voices all around you, loud, convincing, and unrelenting. It's me, nevertheless, who awakens your conscience with inexplicable truth. I talk with conviction that pierces deeper than loudness ever could, not always with thunder. Things that the world cannot teach are revealed by my spirit. I give soul truth, while others give superficial responses. Truth that liberates, corrects, and validates who you are. Now feel it, that slight tenseness in your heart when you think about making a concession. When you nearly take a step you know you shouldn't, it's uncomfortable. I'm watching out for you. You call anxiety uneasiness. Isn't your head continually spinning? My spirit is frequently reawakened, alerted, and redirected. Your restlessness in shallow places is a result of my placing eternity in your heart and using my spirit to guide it. I don't let you wander aimlessly. In order to ground you in reality, I kindle a sacred uneasiness. Pay attention to these reminders. Don't try to dismiss them as instinct. Listen, buzz, and obey. My soul is not a passive entity. His leadership is purposeful. He reminds me of the truth that I have said, brings tranquility when your world starts to spin, and reveals clarity where your reasoning breaks down. Bring him over. Give way to him. The clues you seek don't always appear as invisible signs. They rise from within, where my spirit lives and moves in you. This abstraction is not mystical. It is intimate reality. Tears that fall spontaneously during worship are not an indication of emotion. Communion is that. My spirit is present in you when you feel stronger, when calm overwhelms you in the midst of chaos, and when bravery overcomes fear in the face of adversity. Resurrection is now infused into your everyday life by the same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead. You are not alone in decisions. You are not alone in weakness. When darkness unexpectedly appears, you are not alone. My speech is carried within you. Let him counsel you. Allow him to instruct you. Allow him to console you. When you sin, he stays with you. He convicts not to shame you, but to restore what's slipping away. He isn't aloof. He's paying close attention once more. In here, not out there. The hint lies inside you. Not a theory. Not a borrowed experience. My spirit alive in your bones is your daily revelation that I am near, I am involved, and I will never leave you powerless. I gave your chest power. I gave you direction for your choices. I instilled your breath with sanctity. My child, listen and follow. Keep going. I have yet to fully explore the depths of what I have kept hidden from you. But for you, you will miss the very pulse of my chase if you leave now. I'm going to show you so much more, eternally sealed clues that are just waiting to wake you up. I would be saddened if you hesitated on the brink of revelation. Remain with me. I'm taking you further into what your spirit has been desiring. Please continue to listen. Look back. Think back to those seemingly unimportant moments, the discussions that seemed arbitrary, the strangers who smiled at you when your soul was falling beneath phantom weight. Not everyone was just passing by. They were dispatched. I placed them specifically to communicate something sacred into your life, not just to take up space. It wasn't always apparent to you. You frequently referred to them as chance, kindness, or happenstance. Now, though, I want you to see it clearly. Those individuals weren't by chance. They were my plainclothes messengers. They were living hints. That person who inquired about your well-being when you were certain no one was looking, just as you were about to give up. I gave you that old acquaintance who had called out of the blue. I made them feel something. When you didn't believe in yourself, the teacher had faith in you. I prayed and murmured your name to them. The child who held you when everything else froze. My affection flowed through their small arms. I have embraced you with the unnoticed arms. I've addressed the underappreciated. I have brought hope to the broken. Know this, child. The world ignores the vessels that I use. I pass through the lowly, the imperfect, and the enslaved. You anticipated that miracles would appear in a stately manner. However, I've frequently concealed my brilliance in simplicity. I send my children to spread the truth. They can be direct at times. At times they remain quiet and just sit next to you as you cry. However, they all carried something timeless. You were closer to me with each one. You felt as though someone who had no reason to care was looking at you. It was no accident. It was orchestrated by God. You have always been surrounded by witnesses, intercessors, and encouragers, whose very presence served as a silent preaching. You might have missed them in your hurry or questioned their significance due to their flaws. But now pay attention. I use more than just the polished. I don't just use the holy to communicate. Through the willing I go. I pass through the injured. My might is perfected in weakness. Therefore I breathe through the broken. Don't discount the heavenly because it appeared in the everyday, the stranger with the kind eyes, that neighbor who casually said something that touched your heart, that time when you felt you didn't deserve forgiveness, yet someone still showed it to you. It was all me. I use human hearts to write my words. I communicate through the receptive lips of people who have the courage to love, to listen. Pay attention to people around you. Take another look at the ones you've deemed irrelevant. Hold still and pay attention. Not all of my angels have wings. It's not always fire that my prophets speak. Sometimes they just enter your day with a simple reminder that you are not forgotten, a word, or their presence. For you, I went through them. You pondered whether I had turned away as you stood in the rain. You've been engulfed in grief, with your heart aching from unanswered questions and your eyes burning from the wind. You wondered why it had to happen, whether you had failed, and whether I had changed my mind about you as you faced the turmoil. But pay close attention. I let the storm bring you, not kill you. More was exposed than was taken away. Instead of scattering you, The winds came to raise you from what you believed you required and place you on a foundation that could truly support your calling. I never wasted any of my visitations. Although I didn't enjoy your fear, I was glad when you started letting go of the things that were holding you back. You see, what couldn't remain was revealed by the storm. You discovered the brittle things you had put your faith in. Before the winds rose and the truth stood unveiled, everything appeared secure. After that, there was disappointment, betrayal, and collapse. I utilized them, but I didn't send them. Even the darkness had to obey me. What was hidden was revealed with each flash of lightning. Something buried was awakened by each thunderclap. I made a scalpel out of the storm, precise, essential, and sharp. You asked why. You let out a painful cry, but I never responded with brutality. It was always, watch. Watch how I rebuild on solid ground. Watch how I prune. Watch how I turn what tried to break you into what builds you. You were only able to survive because I stood between you and the wave. Do not curse the shaking. Do not resent the wind. It stripped the illusions. It tore down the lies. I did not take you out of the storm. I stood with you, closer than your breath, stronger than the storm itself. And when you opened your eyes after the rain stopped, you saw me more clearly than ever before. The storm made the world quiet so that I could speak again, and the noise that had previously drowned me was swept away. There, when everything was bare and unvarnished, you discovered me not as a concept but as an anchor. I anchored you in faith. That is the gift. You prayed for strength. I gave you struggle. You asked for peace. I gave you purpose. You begged for rescue. I gave you revelation. I strengthened your trust. I solidified what you had previously only talked about. The storm etched eternity into your bones. It marked you with fire rather than fear. You will never be the same again. You survived because I stood guard. You persevered because I was louder than the wind. And now you stand, stronger, wiser, and unflinching. The storm was loud, but I was louder still. Let the rain fall from your garments, but let my presence permeate your soul. I planted seeds in your mind while you slept. Not fantasies sparked by stress or random memory, but holy images crafted from eternity. You called them dreams, dismissed them as passing echoes of a restless mind, but I call them windows. I entered your sleep quietly when night fell and your eyes closed to the outside world. Not to startle you, but to speak where your defenses could no longer stop me. You live in a world that talks too loudly, moves too quickly, and allows little room for whispers. I call them messengers. I call them hints from beyond the veil. When your body is at rest and the noise subsides, I awaken your soul to dimensions invisible to the naked eye. I use the midnight hours to awaken things that daylight has buried. Not all of your dreams are from me, but you know which ones are. They carry a weight, a silence, a glory that haunts you in holy ways. They awaken recognition rather than just stirring your imagination. I speak in symbols, stories, and impressions so vivid they linger long after you rise. You remember things you've never seen and feel truths you've never heard. I am not a God who hides. I am a Father who initiates. When the natural world becomes quiet, I open the spiritual world wider. I do not only speak through preachers or scripture. Do not minimize what I have shown you. Look into it. Pray over it. Ask me to reveal more. My dreams give you direction, clarity, conviction, and sometimes warning. They don't just amuse you, they equip you. Think back to the times you woke up crying for no apparent reason. Remember the dreams that felt like more than dreams. The times I was there, walking through them, speaking to you beyond your logic. That nudge to write it down, that feeling that something sacred had just happened. I don't just speak through sunlight. I shine through your darkness. I didn't stop speaking when the prophet slept. It wasn't your imagination. That was a moment of divine contact. Invite me into your nights. Pray over your dreams. Expect me to speak. Expect your spirit to receive what your mind cannot yet interpret. There has always been a desire inside of you that nothing could fulfill. Not relationships, not success, not even brief moments of happiness. I still give dreams. I still give visions. I still whisper in the nighttime. Be alert, be available, be receptive. I am still speaking, even as you sleep. You sought to fill the emptiness with more work, more people, more goals, more escape. But each time the thrill subsided, the ache returned. That ache, my child, was never a flaw. It was a clue. You have tasted laughter, accomplishment, pleasure, and yet the hunger remained. There was a quiet pulsing in your soul that nothing in this world could satisfy. The emptiness was not a curse, but a compass. Each time you felt the ache of longing, it was my invitation, drawing you nearer to the only one who could fill it. I put that longing there, not to torture you, but to guide you. I let it go unfulfilled so that you would eventually seek something bigger than what your hands could contain. That holy dissatisfaction was my voice echoing in the chambers of your soul. When you looked around and thought, there must be more, you were hearing me. When you accomplished what you dreamed of and still felt incomplete, it wasn't failure, it was direction. You were never meant to find wholeness in transient things. You were meant to be filled by the eternal. I created you with the capacity for more than earthly prosperity, and I designed your heart to be inhabited by my presence. That's why the hunger persisted, despite your efforts to silence it. It was the limitation of time colliding with the immensity of your eternal design. You were destined to crave me. I am the bread that satisfies. I am the living water that quenches what this world cannot reach. And it only grew louder and deeper until you realized that nothing would quiet it except me. That is the clue you couldn't name, the God-shaped hunger crying out for reunion with its source. Listen, your restlessness is not random. Your search is sacred. I awaken the hunger so that you would find true food. I am the answer to all silent longings and the fulfillment of every ache. Come to me, not to earn, not to perform, but to receive. Stop feeding your soul crumbs when I have prepared a feast. Stop numbing the ache with substitutes when I offer fullness without condition. Come to me and I will satisfy you. I will feed your soul until it overflows. This hunger was never your enemy. It was your invitation. Let it bring you home, and here I am, ready, willing, and eager to fill you. You no longer have to live in hunger or chase after lesser things in hopes they will become holy. But you didn't realize, couldn't yet see, that even in your rebellion, I was still writing redemption. I didn't turn away when you stumbled. Instead, I moved closer and bowed low. You believed that grace had run out because of your mistakes. Shame whispered lies, and you believed them. But your detours were not dead ends. I left mercy on every road you wandered. I covered your brokenness before you even knew to ask for it. Every mistake became a mirror showing you your need, not your worthlessness. I did not expose your flaws to condemn you. I let you fall so you could finally see the arms that would never let you go. I am not ashamed of your past. I am not repulsed by your weakness. I see every chapter of your story, and I still say, you are mine. I use broken things not grudgingly, but proudly. You walked into messes thinking you had ruined everything, but I was already there, rewriting what you thought was irredeemable into a masterpiece of grace. Come to me and let me show you what mercy really looks like. It's not a bandage, it's a resurrection. I don't just patch you up, I make you new. My grace does not ignore your sin. What you think is the end of your story is actually the turning point. Come to me and let me show you what mercy really looks like. You haven't done too much, you haven't gone too far. My cross was wide enough to cover it all. I saw every decision, every word, every wound, and I stayed. Not because I'm blind, but because I love beyond measure. Love triumphs over all. It takes what was meant to destroy and creates something brilliant from the ashes. Let this sink in. Every mistake is a clue, a lesson, a redirection, a doorway back to me. I will use what the enemy intended to shame you and turn it into testimony. I will use your failure as fuel for someone else's freedom. I choose you again, even when you wouldn't choose yourself. You're still eligible. You're meant to be. Thus, rise from the ashes. Cleanse your face of filth. Raise your gaze. You are not condemned by me. I bring you back. I call you forward. I redeem each piece. I dress you with honor, and I guide you toward your goal. Not damaged, but refined. It was no accident that you were merciful in your errors. It was deliberate, and you could always see it waiting for you. Imagine what my mercy could accomplish for someone who is still in the dark, my child, if it found you in your fall. Your sincere gratitude and the seeds you plant are more than just encouragement. For a soul on the verge of surrender, it is a lifeline. I said, give, and you will receive. Furthermore, I never talk without authority. You said a prayer, Lord, use me. I'm responding in this manner. Someone else will hear me declare, I stayed because of your act of faith. I came to your rescue. I still adore you. This goes beyond just a video. Mana is descending in the forest, and the miracle includes you. I bless you when you donate. Along with your gift, you also have your home, future, and name. Now take action. Press the thank you button. Join me as a partner by donating or becoming a member using the PayPal link in the description. Allow the kindness you experience to become the kindness that someone else eventually hears. You've caught a glimpse of my fingerprints, but you won't realize the whole story I've written over your life if you stop here. I'm not done, even though I know you're exhausted. The very times you believe to be failures are being unwrapped by me and transformed into pillars. Turning away now will prevent me from showing you mercy. Please don't abandon me right before restoration takes over. Continue. What follows contains gems that I have concealed. There were times when you felt a weight inside your chest, when your direction veered away from reality, a stop before speaking, a reluctance before taking a step, or a pressure you couldn't quite put your finger on. Your conscience wasn't the only one. I was that person. I instilled conviction in your soul to free you from the bonds of shame before they became inflexible. I don't yell in humiliation. To protect, I whisper. I don't hit in order to punish. To rectify, I stir. And I left you a clue in those holy stirrings. An internal sense of uneasiness rose when you approached compromise too closely. It wasn't by accident that sin became less delicious, lies became bitter, and darkness became heavier than before. It was a divine quest. I love you too much to allow you to crumble under the weight of deceit, so I let you feel the fracture. Instead of using harsh reprimands, I used a quiet little voice that begged you to turn, to stop, to come back. That unwavering sense that something was amiss, that heavenly tension, that inner tug, that fire was sparked by my spirit. I don't condemn. I convict, I don't desert. I awaken. Conviction wasn't meant to reveal your shame. The purpose was to elevate you. You believed that you had let me down. However, I never lost hope. I was aware of your difficulties. Even though I knew you would fight, I still chose you. I still reached for you. Despite your chaos, I continued to whisper my truth. Don't disregard these holy cues. Don't interpret my voice as doubt or suspicion. I'm not attempting to dominate you. I'm leading you down the peaceful path. To keep you from collapsing, I arouse you. To keep you from drowning, I break your drift. My spirit won't allow you to settle for anything less than holy. That's why you feel uneasy after certain decisions, why delight fades in particular situations, and why your soul can't rest even when your body feels at peace. It's protection, not punishment. A tug is alignment, not rejection. I discipline those I love with unrelenting grace, not anger. The best evidence that you belong to me is my correction. You are mine, and I correct mine. So embrace those times. Allow the suffering to speak. Allow the silence to grow. I'm not silencing you. I'm awakening you to the life I have in store for you. I envision the end from the beginning, even though one step might seem small. I love you too much to keep you in suspense. My voice is clarity, not thunder. My correction is not rejection. It is redirection. Now listen to me. I was still holding the line, calling you home, speaking with conviction so you could walk in freedom. That's why you always felt uncomfortable leaving me. Let me guide you. Follow my voice. Allow the subtle hint within to remind you that your heart belongs to me. You asked me to open the door, to make the path clear, to bring the opportunity you envisioned. You believed I was withholding goodness when I answered no. You cried over silent rejections and closed doors, thinking they meant disapproval. But I want you to understand now, I shut those doors to keep you safe, not to hurt you. It was never abandonment when a gate closed, a request went unanswered, or an opportunity was lost. It was denial wrapped in mercy. You saw loss. I saw danger. You noticed delay. I saw redirection. I took away what would have taken you away. What would have broken you was blocked by me. When you couldn't see the truth behind the allure, I stood between you and calamity. You saw the scene. I saw the outcome, and I acted swiftly, decisively, without your consent, because I love you. True love doesn't always wait for understanding. You thought rejection meant unworthiness. It didn't. I wasn't rejecting you. I was saving you. I closed that door because behind it was something that would have stolen your joy, your peace, or your destiny. You succeeded. You were redirected, not rejected. You were saved. Let this truth settle in your spirit. It's not always punishment when I say no. Sometimes it's positioning. When I close a door, I open a better one. When I say, not now, I'm preparing something you can't yet see. When I block your path, trust me. When I change your plans, trust me. I don't destroy dreams. I design destinies, and I never take anything away without reason. Stop knocking on sealed doors. I've already closed them for your protection. Look around you. Can you see the new path beginning to form? Do you feel the calm returning? That's the fruit of divine closure. One day you'll look back and weep, not in sorrow, but in gratitude for the detours that saved your life. Rise now. Wipe away the tears of disappointment. Lift your eyes beyond unopened doors. I'm not done yet. You are not being punished by me. I'm working on something beyond your deepest desires. You ask based on what you see, but I offer what I know you were made for. I leave signs even in closed doors, a whisper that bids you to trust, a sacred hint toward a better path. I am not the God who teases. I am the God who leads. Each no was drawing you toward a yes that will never break you. You thought your prayers went unheard. I heard them all. Every whispered hope I recorded. Every tear I held. Every request I remembered. You've forgotten some prayers, but I haven't. Silence isn't rejection. I remember the desires born of faith. Some prayers take time, not because I'm unkind, but because I'm wise. You see minutes, I see generations. What seems urgent, I answer with what will last. If it seems delayed, it's because I'm preparing a blessing that exceeds measure. Even now, prayers are unfolding. Seeds you once planted are breaking through unseen soil. You may not recognize my answer when it comes, but it will be the prayer you once prayed, fulfilled at the perfect moment. Though your faith wavered, mine did not. I stayed faithful to what you dared to believe. Don't measure my love by your timeline. I'm never late. I'm perfect in every way. What you call delay, I call design. I've been shaping you and the promise together. So keep praying, keep hoping. You had no reason to think I've forgotten you. I am the remembering God, the answering God, the working God. Even while you sleep, I am preparing. When I move, it won't be partial or rushed. It will be full, undeniable, and radiant. What you thought were whispers into silence were threads woven into destiny. Every faint prayer was a seed I honored. When you let go, I held on. And now, I breathe life into it again. You've stood where you should have burned, faced enemies stronger than yourself, and survived storms that defied logic. But you're still here. And it's no accident, my child. You emerged victorious because I fought for you behind the curtain. Not your strength, but my presence, won your battles. Even when darkness deepened and hope faded, I surrounded you with angelic defense. Unseen, I shielded you. I absorbed the blows aimed to destroy you. It wasn't strategy that saved you. It was my covering. I watched over you through the night. While you wept, I worked. While you prayed, I moved mountains and dismantled the enemy's schemes before they reached you. Every time calm followed fear, every time escape came unplanned, every time a new way opened when you were ready to quit, that was me. You called it luck or timing. It was divine intervention. It was mercy. I never missed a battle. I fought for you. What was formed against you, I turned into wisdom within you. Your trial taught you trust. Your fire taught you faith. Now, look back, not with fear, but reverence. Your authority was birthed in battles you thought would destroy you. The very things that threatened to bury you now bear witness. I am your deliverer. You didn't just survive. You were carried by a power far greater than yourself. You now wear the mark of divine deliverance. Carry this truth forward. If I didn't leave you then, I will never leave you now. When reason said you'd collapse, peace held you firm. Not the world's peace, temporary and fragile, but eternal peace, wrapping your spirit like a heavenly embrace. You didn't create that peace. You didn't force it into being. It was my presence. You felt it in hospital rooms and heartbreak, in fear and silence. Even through tears, something stronger held you. That something was me. The peace you couldn't explain was the breath of my spirit. True serenity is not weakness, it's strength. It's heaven's signature on your soul. When everything falls apart and you remain steady, know this, it's me. That peace is proof of my nearness. Let it remind you, I never leave when the storm comes. I step into it, and in the ashes, I sit beside you. I breathe healing from the inside out while I live in the pain. My peace has been borne by you. You survived things that should have destroyed you because of this. Remember how you felt. Don't undervalue what kept you going. My tranquility is real. It's me. You won't panic the same way when the turmoil returns. You experienced a more expansive reality, and since calm is not a sensation, it will reappear repeatedly. It's a pledge. The Prince of Peace is me, and tranquility accompanies me wherever I go. I have led you through stillness, through fire, and through an inexplicable calm. This isn't the end, though, child. This is the threshold. What follows carries the heartbeat of my ambitions for you. The voice that has waited so long to be heard will be silenced if you stop now. I've been gradually revealing myself, not to overwhelm, but to awaken. Don't look away just yet. I'm still speaking. Let me complete what I began. You waited longer than you anticipated. You wondered if I had forgotten your timeline as you gazed at closed doors and watched others move forward. You struggled to keep quiet. You asked me how fast I was going. How much longer into the dark, you said. But now, here's what I want you to know. I never arrived late, I was always in step. Every waiting period was a feature of my plan, not a weakness in my loyalty. Your life is measured in days, months, and years. I work in eternity, in generations, and in seasons. I was deliberate, even though you felt I was slow. I was preparing more than you requested, though you felt I was ignoring your pleas. Where you saw delay, I saw precision. I was shaping you into a person who could bear the answer without being overwhelmed by it, even while you longed for answers. Waiting wasn't a punishment. It was protection. I shielded you from being exposed too soon. I held you back not because you weren't worthy, but because I understood how complete my plan was. I saw what was ahead and knew the very blessing you sought could have harmed you if released too early. To prevent your fruit from rotting under pressure, I was deepening your roots. Silence trained your listening. Delay refined your motives. Waiting strengthened your faith. My child, if this message has touched your spirit, share it with those who need it and subscribe to the channel so that God's Word can touch and transform your life.